This
with the
conference will
combination
now be recorded.
of rate schedules and rate overrides. Before defining rate schedules, we have to define prerequisites of rate schedules. The prerequisite rate schedules are we need to define organization and employee, job, expenditure type, and non-labor resources and resources classes and implementation option. And next we need to define rate schedules. The rate schedules are of four, and those are employee, job, and non-labor resources and resources classes. And what is mean by employee? An employee is a person who works under the organization for a particular purpose. For this employee, we are defining a rate type. Uh, those will be in uh, standard hourly rate or percentage markup by the employee. And next is job. Uh, Job is nothing but role, and the jobs are of different roles. Each employee will work. Each employee has one job uh, according to their work, and this rate schedule is used to define standard hourly rates by job. And next is non-labor resources. Non-labor resources are which are related to the resources other than the uh, labor. And for this, the examples are uh, airfare, auto charges, telephone charges. These all are comes under the category of non-labor resources. And next is resource classes. Resource classes which are related to the equipment and people, financial elements. These are all comes under the category of resource classes. And I forgotten to tell about non-labor resources rate schedules, and this type of rate schedule is used to define standard hourly rates or uh, both. We can use both standard hourly rates and no, sorry, either it is either standard hourly rates or the percentage markup. And next is resource classes. And these resource classes, this type of resource classes is used to define standard hourly or percentage markup. And whatever we define in the rate schedules, those will be that we can able to select from the billing information in project type. And what else? Project type. Sorry, rate types. Rate types are of casting, billing, and work planning. Casting is related to the cost incurred by the cost incurred for the expenditure, and the next is billing. Billing is related to the generating of revenue and generating of invoices. And next is planning. Planning is related to the actual cost or planning cost, and it is related to the work related financial planning and work planning. That's it, sir. Hello.
Okay. So are you referring e-business suite rate schedules, Srikala?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Guys, going forward, refer the navigations and everything from the Fusion,
Okay.
right? So you already well know about your e-business suite navigation and forms, everything, right? Now you
Yeah.
are recently getting know about Fusion, their navigation and their structure. So if you try to explain about them, then that will be again good for you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. Good, Shrikala. And who is next? Abhilash.
Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, Abhilash. Carry on.
Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to discuss integration with purchasing module. When we go for integration with purchasing module means whenever, for example, in my project, I have laptop. That laptop is crashed. It means it doesn't works. Then I requested to my project manager, and that project manager will raise the request for purchasing manager. Then the purchasing manager will create the requisition. If the item will be in the inventory, then it will be internal requisition. If the item is not in the inventory, we will go for a purchase order requisition. Okay. Wow. For whom the item is giving, those are all details will be reflected in that requisition. In requisition, we will provide at the time of creation of requisition, we will provide the item details and project details and the employee and for which task we used that. All those details will be created in the requisition and it is approved by the purchasing manager. And purchasing
Okay.
manager,
Yes. When we will give the employee, not required,
employee is mandatory, no?
while raising a requisition, employee is mandatory.
Because for whom we are giving that item, it means Marlin Miss Ami will be given at the time of requisition, Anna.
Are you
RDM
referring
is
to the requester?
the requester. That's it. Okay, they
Yeah,
have
Anna.
explained it.
Yeah, no. Okay, let's continue. At the end, I'll correct your mistakes. Okay?
Okay, Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That after creation of requisition, it is approved by the purchasing manager. And for tracking the request, we can see in the project status inquiry. In project status inquiry, while querying of projects, we will see in the commitment tab. First, at the time of project status inquiry, whenever we see in the commitment, we don't have. Whenever we update the whenever we run the concurrent program as PRC update summary amount for a single project, then only it will be shown in the commitment. As a if the after creation of requisition, we will get the requisition number in the commitment tab, and then if it is a purchase order requisition means, then we'll go for purchase order auto create. It means auto create means whatever we created in the requisition, that is reflected in the purchase order, and we will give you the supplier name and supplier site, and then it is approved by the head of the department. Then we will get the purchase order number by query of purchase order number in the payables. It will be validated and created accounted. Before going to payables, whenever we want to track means in project status inquiry, by query of project, we will get in the commitment tab, we'll get the after updating the after doing the concurrent program as PRC update summary amount for a single project, we'll get the purchase order number. By this we can query in the payables module. For everyone, we don't have that access, so that payables department will query that purchase order number, and they will validate and create the accounting. And whenever we track that track the request, again we have to run the PRC update summary amount for a single project. We'll get it will be changed to purchase order to supplier invoices. It means whenever interface after getting that supplier invoices.
The thing is there, what I observed from my side is whenever people people are giving the presentations, other people are not at all concentrated in the presentations. What they are doing is simply they are ignoring the presentations, simply they are doing their homework. The thing is, I would like to advise you all to concentrate on the presentations also. Even others are giving the presentation, concentrate on the presentation. Because you will know what are the mistakes they are doing. That is the case, how to rectify your mistakes. You will learn a lot of things from the other people presentations. Even the guys were thinking that maybe class will start at 9 o'clock. Initial 15 minutes will be for presentations, so that we can join after 15 minutes, which is not fair at all.
Okay.
Guys, you have to follow the presentations. I have already told you many times, when anyone is giving presentation, you have to focus on it. See, these are all, you know, which makes you to understand better about the concept and also to understand where you are exactly. And so that's very important. If you are neglecting, the things suggesting by me or Rameshana, that's up to you guys, because we cannot see each and every person what he's doing, what he's thinking in his mind, right?
Yeah.
Everyone are doing good. If you don't follow what Rameshana is telling, right? So your wish, everyone will get the job, and you will also get the job, but maybe after a year or 2 years. If there is a biryani plate, like a mandi, if everyone are eating, what will you think? Hey, everyone are eating, again they'll consume my portion also, right? Then you will also hurry up and eat the biryani, isn't it or not? So in the same way here, everyone are giving presentation. I mean, so some people are really doing good. I cannot talk about their names who are not doing good, but some people are really doing good. They'll get the job easily. But what about you? Are you looking at them, what they're doing, how they're doing? They will get, I mean, they'll just follow what we are saying, and they'll get the job, and you'll remain, for a longer time in the institute again, right? Giving presentations, following presentations, right? Practicing all your things, like grabbing your portion. That's your opportunity, man. Don't lose your opportunities. And giving presentations, it's not for that particular, the guy who is giving presentation. I think even when I was in institute with you physically, I explained you clearly. Follow the person who is giving the presentation. Is it or not?
Yeah, Anna, you said Anna.
Okay. Carry on, Ablash.
Uh, in commitment tab, we will see that supplier invoice. It is commitment. Whenever we want to as change as a actual expenditure, we have to do the concurrent program as interface PRC interface supplier cost. By doing this concurrent program, we have to run another concurrent program as PRC update summary amount for a single project. By this concurrent program, we able to see in the expenditure status inquiry. Whatever the expenditure we booked related to that requisition, those will be shown in that expenditure status inquiry. Actually, the process for procurement to payment cycle is, first we will request. It means it will be created requisition by the purchasing manager, and the purchasing manager will request for quotes by the suppliers, and then that quotes will be analyzed, and then the purchasing manager will do the purchase order. After doing that purchase order, we will get the purchase order receipt. By that purchase order receipt, we'll do the purchasing invoices. By purchasing invoices, whatever the amount we have to pay, that will be paid by the payables, and then it is cleared by the cash management. Thank you, friends.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. So, Abhilash, do you have any questions to the team?
Uh, what is the accounting entry for purchase order?
No accounting entry.
There is no accounting entry for purchase order.
In purchasing
Okay.
module, we don't have accounting entries, but we have accounting entry in the at the time of payables.
I mean, that is the answer what you got, right? From the team.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next.
Uh,
If you don't have any questions, then I have many questions actually.
okay, Anna, carry on.
Okay. First
Ask Anna.
thing, we don't we should not refer employee while creating the requisition, right? So within that, we are having two persons. One is like buyer, and the other person is requester. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
these are the two people who will be within the requisition, right? And then again in the purchase order. And I have one more doubt, uh, when can I treat the supplier invoice as my commitment, and when can I treat my supplier invoice as my actuals?
Before create accounting, you can consider that as a commitment. After creating account, you can consider that as a actual expenditure.
Actually,
Mm,
whenever we do
no,
the concurrent program in the, whenever we do that in payables, create accounting, it does not reflect to the actual expenditure. Whenever we do the interface supplier cost, then only it will be
no,
reflected as a actual
no,
expenditure.
no, no. Anybody?
Update summary project ಅನ್ನ
No. I told you guys already about this.
Sir, when we place the purchase order, hello,
Okay, carry on.
then we treat it as a commitment.
Okay.
And once we receive the goods from the uh, supplier, we
Mhm.
treat it as a when we pay the amount after receiving the goods, we treat it as a actual cost.
No,
Whenever we do the
and
payment, that it will be
no,
as a
no.
Now for the
Rakesh.
commitment,
Yes, Ganesh.
now for the commitment, there will be no accounting entries that is called commitment. When we will call it as actual commitment means whenever we run PRC update cost account, so then we will get the
Ganesh,
actual.
my question is on the supplier invoice. When can I treat that, or when can I consider that as my actuals, and when can I treat that as my actual cost? We are having different cases actually. Sometimes I cannot consider supplier invoice as my actuals at all.
Uh, we have to enable the checkbox called group supplier invoices.
No. Rakesh,
ಎಸ್ ಅಣ್ಣ
do you have any answer?
I mean until and unless we run the update summary it doesn't reflect in expenditure inquiry.
See, my question is sometimes based upon the things what you do, you even like you have supplier invoice, you accounted it, you posted it to the GL, but still I cannot consider that as my actuals. What is that situation?
I mean until and unless it create accounting impact.
No, it's accounting is there, like I posted to the GL, everything is done, but still I don't consider that supplier invoice as my actuals. Okay, think about it.
whenever the
And
expenditure is related to that project means, then it will be treated as actual
no,
expenditure. It
no,
is a reporting purpose.
no. Think about it, and maybe we can discuss by tomorrow.
Okay, Anna.
Okay, guys.
Sir, last one. In implementation option, we have checkbox interface, inventory, and inventory WB cost to GL. If you disable that, we can't.
Mhm.
Is that right, sir?
No, that's
Sir, can
not.
you repeat the question once again? Even after posting to the accounts, we will not consider
Yeah,
it as an actual.
yeah. I have a supplier invoice. I validated it, accounted it, posted to the GL. Everything is done, but still I
We,
cannot consider or I
we
cannot
received
import that. I cannot import that as a cost into the project accounting.
the goods also. So that
Hmm.
is whatever the request we place.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even after
But
receiving
it's
the goods, we are not considering it as an actual cost. What
correct.
is the case? That's the question.
We receive the goods or we don't receive the goods, but when it comes to
Okay.
the supplier invoice,
Yeah.
even though it is accounted validated, but still I don't consider that as my actuals.
Okay.
Okay, so let me share my screen. And I forgot Shrikala. Do you have any questions?
Yes, Anna.
Carry on.
Uh, can anyone tell what is meant by resource class?
Guys, what happened?
Resources, resource classes and another type of schedule type. In
No.
that, we can enter the schedule by labor, uh, equipment, material item, and financial resources related things.
See, you are just referring the rate schedule, but you are not explaining what is a resource class.
No, I think resource value is just a classification of resources based on
Yeah,
the for
it's very high level
like we have
classification of
labor.
resource, right? That is a high level of classification of resource. Good.
I use this type of resource class schedule to define planning rates by resources.
Don't refer the particular object like schedules because you are going to use your resource classes in many areas, right? Not only in your rate schedules, right, guys? Even you can use them in your RBS as well, right? So don't refer to particular form when you're talking about a particular concept.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's let me share my screen. So are you practicing in Fusion,
Yes,
Yeah,
Anna.
Naresh,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Mani,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Abhilash?
yeah. No.
Practice.
Your team
But
is also accessing them and practicing them, right?
we are
Yes, sir. And
practicing
everyone is
that one. But for me, I'm not yet completed up to now. I will complete it
Why?
soon.
Why? What is stopping you to complete that?
Um, because I am not listened some classes. I am listening that and I am understanding that, and then I will do practice. Actually, I am doing step by step whatever the role assigned to that user, what the role is impact in the for that user.
Okay.
I am using that way, so
Yeah.
it takes time.
As you are having access to Fusion application, guys, so you take one assignment, which everyone do actually. like even I did, take all the project related roles like project creator, project team member, project manager, project application administrator, project administrator, right? So take all the roles and maintain in a Excel, and try to assign the role, I mean each role to the user at a time, like one role at a time. For example, first try to give project creator to the user and check what are the accesses he's going to get, whether he's going to get access to setup and maintenance, or like within the main home page, like is there any particular offerings he's going to get access, or within the offering what are the work areas he's going to get access. And again with he's going to get access to the uh, any specific work areas under tools, right? So observe them and make a note against to that particular project role. And then again, when you are going to assign the second role, clear up the first role and then assign the second role. So at a time, only one role should be assigned to the user. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Done.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Uh, let's move to our topics. I think yesterday we have seen, not yesterday. Yesterday, actually, I was working till 4 a.m., so I couldn't take up the class. Fine. Still, I think we are under project foundation. We have completed our RBS. Now let's move to the project types. Okay, so let's create a brand new project type. So name, it's very similar, but coming to the reference data set, so we will select the common, but anyhow, I'm going to explain about the set once after the cycles. I mean the contract and capital project life cycles. And then from date to date, also we are going to specify the work type within the project type, right? And coming to the options, what we are having here at the header level, you can enable, I mean, if you want to create a project, capital project, then you have to enable this, which is very similar, right? Even in e-business suite. Again, if you want to create contract project, then you can enable this. And if you want to create, I mean, indirect project, then you should not select any one of these. Billing, not billing, I mean, neither capitalization nor billing. That means that particular project type is meant for creating indirect projects. And at the same time, we can enable billing and then capitalization at a time, right? But we didn't come across this kind of scenario still now. Maybe going forward, we'll try to test this scenario, right? Like I'm going to build my assets, at the same time I'm going to sell them and generating invoices and recognizing the revenue, right? And then again we are having one more option for enabling burdening, right? So if you want to enable burdening, like if you want to capture burden cost on your actual cost, then you have to enable this option, right? Otherwise your project cannot capture burden cost on your respective transactions. Okay, let's say enable all these as of now. Now moving to the line level tabs. So like unlike any business suite, we are just having 3 tabs here: burdening, capitalization and classification, right? But in e-business suite, you can also see some kind of billing options, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, now we will see.
right? But but here, I think even we can specify the distribution rules also, right, Abhilash?
In billing, whenever we use the contract project, we will specify the distribution rules.
Yeah. So, but in Fusion, we don't need to specify all the, I mean, we don't specify them here. And the distribution rules, right? We refer with a different name like invoice methods and revenue methods, I mean, method classifications. So we will deal with them only while creating the contract. Like you refer agreement right in a business suit, but here we refer, I mean, we don't have any agreements and we are having contracts, and within the contract we are going to refer them, not anymore within the project type. So here we are just having three tabs: burdening, capitalization, classifications. Okay. And under burdening, I think these options are all very much similar to your business suite, right? Like you have to select your default burden schedule, which can be overridden at the project level once if you enable this option, and then capturing the burden cost within the expenditure type and on a different expenditure type, sorry, expenditure item. I think these are all very much similar, and create accounting on burden cost and also burdened cost, right?
No.
I think no need to cover any new thing here. So let's move to the capitalization options. And here also like it's pretty much very similar to your business suite, like what is my cost type, whether it's a raw cost or burdened cost, right? And remember when you are selecting accounting for burdened cost, then you have to select the cost type as burdened. Remember, that is mandatory configuration what you have to select. When you enable accounting for burdened cost, so your cost type should be burdened. If you don't enable cost accounting for burdened, then no need, you can select either burdened or raw cost. But this doesn't apply to the burden cost. So even if you enable burden cost, you can also select raw cost as your cost type. And we are having asset line grouping methods. I think these are all same, like category, item, organization type. And moving to the asset cost allocation methods, I think these are also same options like unit, actual units. I mean, I'm not sure whether they are, I mean, both are same or not a business student fusion in this area. You have to tell. Here we are having actual units, current cost, estimated cost, standard unit cost spread evenly. Do you have any other options, any business suite, or are we missing anything here, guys?
In
No, no,
asset
no,
line
no.
grouping method, we have project process configurer. Now, what does it mean?
No, under
Asset line
asset cost
grouping method.
allocation. Here, asset cost allocation method.
No,
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 no
no
changes.
change.
No, right? Okay. So you have to remember all these options. And did you practice with each of one of the option, guys?
We practiced actual units and spread evenly only. And a standard unit cost is not practiced.
Okay. What about current cost?
Current cost also not practiced.
Okay. But if you have time, practice that as well, right? That's very important.
Okay.
Next, we'll move to the
Anna, in
again.
asset line grouping method, one is project process configurer is there. You know, what it means? Means
Even
to
I didn't try
extension
that. Maybe process or project process configurator. This might be related to extension.
client
Yeah, like
extensions.
even you have extension in your business suite application, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so this is similar to that.
Okay.
Okay, and even under even process method, we are having periodic and manual. I think this is also similar to business suite. require complete as a definition, as grouping supplier invoices. If not, I mean, if you use this option, I mean, what is the difference between enabling this option and disabling this option? Anybody?
Whenever we enable this grouping method for supplier invoice, we will get the both invoices as new and merged in a fixed asset module. Whenever we disable whatever we need, we can access that.
No.
Sir, if you enable the grouping method, will also applicable to the supplier invoice.
Yeah. So if you enable this checkbox, so whatever the grouping method you have selected, that will apply to the supplier invoices. And if you don't want to apply that grouping method, then you can disable this and you can select this either of the option, whether you want to send them as new additions or merged additions. Did you try this option, guys?
Yeah. No.
Okay, I think everybody didn't try this. So this is your assignment. You have to create one project type uh, where enabling this option, and you have to create one more project type by disabling this option, right? And try create some supplier invoices and then try to uh, create or generate asset lines and transfer to the FA, and make a note, make your put your observations on a note and share it to me. Okay.
Okay, Anna.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Actually,
again,
the problem is
mhm,
we have
your voice is breaking.
yeah, actually there is a problem with the Dampana. So this problem with the
Hey, Naresh,
application.
మీ వాయిస్ క్లియర్గా లేదు అసలు. I cannot hear you. గాయస్ వినపడుతుందా?
Yes, Anna.
గణేష్ వాయిస్ క్లియర్గా ఉంది. ఓకే, డంప్లో ప్రాబ్లం ఉందా? నో ప్రాబ్లం. యూ హ్యావ్ ఫ్యూజన్ అప్లికేషన్, రైట్? Start working in Fusion. Okay, fine. Let's move to the project template. Let's open one of the project template. So here it will be a little bit different when it comes to the structure actually, but no need to confuse here. Like at the header level, you used to, like, we will specify all the business unit, project unit, legal entity, project type, and the main important thing is like what is your initial project status. So why I'm getting only two statuses here? Anybody? Why I can see only active and draft?
Initial status checkbox enabled only for those statuses in project status, manage project.
Oh, correct. In manage project statuses, I have enabled initial project status on these two status. That's the reason why I'm able to see only these two here, right? So whatever the status you select here, that will be your default status of that project, whatever you create, right? And then let's get into any one of the option here so that we'll see the clear structure. Okay, so here we are having three tabs. One is project, financial, and reporting. Okay, so under project, we have to provide first thing, like while creating the project template, first you have to provide your project plan type, right? So that is your first thing under project tab. You have to specify your project plan. I mean, don't worry, we will also see what is the project plan type. I think this is very new to you, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Once after this, maybe we can jump like not immediately. Maybe once after the cycles, we will cover these project plan type, and then again we are having financial plan type. Two types are there actually. This is
Mainly it
totally
is
meant for
similar
the,
to work plan, no?
yeah,
Is it
like
similar to work plan?
yeah. This, this plan type will supply the default attributes uh, to the tasks actually, or to the WBS structure.
Okay.
The behavior of the WBS depending upon the plan type what you have chosen. Okay,
Okay.
right. And once you select the project plan type, then you can come down and you can able to create your WBS structure. Right, so you can add any number of tasks here, and once after creating the tasks, again it's like optional. If you want to create task, you can. If not, you can leave that. The other things here like uh, team members. If you want to provide any default team members like project manager or any other team members, you can specify here that will flow to the project. And the other thing is like project classifications, right? So if you want to make, I mean, if you want to add any project classifications, then you can add it here. Then that will get copied into the projects, and while creating the project, user has to provide the class codes against to the project class, I mean class categories. And then again you have to specify the resource breakdown structure. If you have any RBS, then yes, you have to mention within the template, right? If you don't mention that here, again we have to, or the user has to manually select the RBS. Sometimes they'll miss it, and so that will create a big mess. So we have to mention our RBS if we have any specific RBS. I think here I don't have anything, but no problem. We'll create one RBS. And then these are all like common information again, attachments, additional information. And when you move to the financials, here you can see the budgets and forecasts, like what again, just like, I mean, just now I said about project plan type and again financial plan type, right? So once we discuss about that, then again we'll come back here. And transaction controls, everyone knows about this, right? And conversion attributes, if we are going to get, I mean, if the project currency is like, different currency of your ledger currency, then again you have to mention your conversion attributes. And then asset information, usually we won't specify asset information within the projects, project templates, but all this information, I mean, this is very similar to the project, right? um, and then again capitalization options here, like if you are not maintaining capitalized interest, then again you have to uncheck this checkbox while creating the template. That is what usually we do. And again, cross charge options, this also, like again, we used to specify within the projects. Mm, that's it here. And moving to the reporting, here we are having a new concept called KPIs, key performance index. Using this, you can monitor your project's health, whether it is doing good or bad or it's in danger, right? So based upon that, the project managers or the respective persons will get notifications, and they can come to know about exactly how the project is, doing, right? And we will see in detail about even KPIs also. Um, that's it about the project template. And coming to the quick entries, even in e-business suite you are having quick entries, right? The options are the inputs that has to be provided by the user while creating the project. And again, we can make them as optional or we can make them mandatory, right guys?
Yeah.
So here also we are having quick entries. Let's see what are the options we are having under this. Come on. Yeah. So we can add classifications to the quick entries, and again, legal entity, project organization, project customers, project status, project description, and then again team member. Like these are all the important things what we usually use under quick entries, right? And whatever you select, maybe like I'll select this class category. And if you see here, we are having one more option here. It's like whether you want to make the selection as mandatory or optional. If you make it required, then without providing or without selecting class code for this class category, user cannot create a project, right? And in the same manner, you can add other fields or like within the classifications. Again, if you are having multiple class categories, then yes, again you can add one more record with for the classification, and you can select the a different class category here. Okay, so this is about project template. So within the project template, we are having three sections. One is report, financial, and then project, financial, and then reporting. We are having three sections, but uh, these sections are not same within the project. Okay, so you'll see when we are creating a project. So with this, we have completed all the tasks within the project foundation functional area. Okay, and still we are having so many other functional areas, but my plan is to go to those functional areas when needed. Like when implementing burdening, then I want to cover this. And again, when I try to cover the contract project life cycle, then maybe I can cover all these, this one. And when we are doing SL, like we call auto accounting in e-business suite, right? But in Fusion, we don't have any auto accounting. We are having SLAs. So when we are doing SLAs, then we can go to the project accounting. Okay, so with this, I'll start following the function areas, and we can dive into capital project lifecycle or contract project lifecycle. So which one you want to go, guys? First, either capital or contract. Hmm.
Capital project.
Capital project.
Capital
Fine.
project.
Okay, so we'll start from the home screen. Okay. So in order to create a capital project, what is the first step? Which is like a common step. You have to create a project type by enabling capitalization checkbox, right? So that is the first thing what you have to do. So under project foundation, you can go to the project types and make sure that you are having a project type with the enable capitalization options. Guys, just give me 2 minutes. I'll just come. Okay. Sorry guys, I have an issue with gas cylinder. So you have to make sure that you have a project type with calculation checkbox enabled, right? So maybe for our example, I can pick this one. So we are having a project type, and then we should create a project template with that project type. And even I think I have a project template with that project type. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So even I have a project template as well on this project type. This project type is meant for creating capital projects, right? So my template is bank capital template. And let's see what is the structure of WBS within this. Let's go to the project plan. Okay, I think we didn't associate project plan type. Let me pick cost project plan type. And I'll just give one task here.
Devendra,
Anna,
project plan type total process explain చేసినా లేకపోతే డైరెక్ట్ గా అర్థం చేసి
అన్న మీ వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది, క్లారిటీ లేదు.
ప్రాజెక్ట్ ప్లాన్ టైప్ టోటల్ గా ఇంక్లూడింగ్ చెక్ బాక్సెస్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసి అటాచ్ చేస్తున్నా లేకపోతే అదర్వైజ్ డైరెక్ట్ గా అటాచ్ చేస్తున్నా
ఈ ఫ్లోస్ తర్వాత ప్రాజెక్ట్ కంట్రోల్ కవర్ చేద్దామని చూస్తున్నాను అన్న. మొత్తం ఫినాన్షియల్ ప్లాన్ టైప్, ప్రాజెక్ట్ ప్లాన్ టైప్.
సరే జస్ట్ ఊరికి అడుగుతున్నాను.
అదైతే మైండ్ లో ఉంది. ఆ రెండు కవర్ చేయాలి యాక్చువల్లీ. Okay, so I'll just give one simple task here, task 1. And in order to see the task details, so you can highlight any task and go to the actions, manage tasks, and then edit task details. Sorry. And within the task details, again you are having multiple tabs. So under general, we are having task name, number, what is the task organization, and then these are my plan dates, my transaction dates are also similar to my project plan dates. All these, the defaultings will come from the project plan type, and we will see in detail maybe once we finish this cycle. And let's go to the setup, where you can see the like capitalizable checkbox, chargeable checkbox. So if you disable this checkbox, that means you cannot create any transactions, or you cannot capture any cost on this task. So the chargeable checkbox should be enabled, right? And again, if you disable this checkbox, then whatever the cost you incur on this task, you cannot capitalize that particular cost. That means that cost is not eligible for capitalization, right? Because even though my project is capital project, there are some costs that are related to expenses, right? So in that case, I can create a separate task to capture all my expense cost, which is not a capitalizable cost, and then I'll go with the capturing all those costs in that particular task. And again, within the setup, you can see the progress settings. Again, all these options, I didn't select cost and I didn't select remaining planning for EDC methods, right? So all these options will get defaulted from your project plan type, right? Let's go to the capital information. And again, if you are capturing your capital interest, then you have to enable. If not, we have to disable this. Under asset assignments, once you create any asset, and if you want to assign that asset to the task, either you can come to the project or you can go to the asset work area. We are having, two options, and we'll see, like, once we creating the asset, then we can see the asset assignment as well. So you can come to this project definition, and again, within the project, you can also able to assign the asset here. And again, if you are having any cross charge transactions, again, like, then, like, maybe we'll see all these options while doing, cross charge transactions. I don't want to keep everything in one plate here. So I have a task. Let's say I want to close and go out of this. Okay. So we have a project type which is meant for creating capital projects, and we have project template. Once after this, we need to create project. So before going to that, we should understand what are the roles that are required to create the project, right? So first thing, whoever the user creating the project, he should be assigned with the role project creator, right? So let's go and see that. So we go to the project financial management, and then users and security. I just want to show the data access as well. Like, already I'm having project creator role. And once we have project creator role, and even we know what is the next step after adding the roles, right? Giving the data access to the roles. Why it is not coming? Okay. Not even this. What is my username? So let's go to the tools and security console. Users. Okay. Logged. No. So this one. My username is Kiran GG. Okay, so let's go there again. Product financial management, users and security, and then manage data access for users. So first I want to check whether data access is there for the project creator or not, right? For my user. So in order to do that, I can select users with data access, and then I can give my username here, which is this, and then I can do a search. So now I'm getting everything. So I want to search for the project creator role, right? So let's search. Okay. So for this role, I have access to the both bank business unit, and then again Tata business unit, right? So this is mandatory. Without the data access to this project creator role, you cannot create the project, right? So the first thing, you should have a project creator role, and the second thing, data access set should be created for that particular role. That means under Security context is business unit. That means the project creator role should have access to that particular business unit. Okay. Now let's go to the home page. From the home page, you have to go to the project offering. So you can go to this project offering, and again from the home page, or you can go to the navigator as well. Within the navigator also you can see the projects, right? We're having, so in Fusion most of the times you can do the same thing in multiple places, so don't get confused to that. Okay. So even if you click, you can come to the navigator, or you can come, you can like, you can come to the home page, so that doesn't change anything. So let's go to the projects, and again project financial management, right? So this is the work area in order to create the project, and again to review the project as well. So to create the project, again you need to click on this double arrow and then create project from template. You can do this from here, or you can go to the task list. So on your right hand side, so this is the task list. If you click on this, you'll get multiple options again. So under initiate, you can also use create project from template or create project from another project, right? As I said just now, you can do the same thing, in different places. So either I can select this, or I can use this option to create a project. Okay. Now I have to select that template. My template is bank capital template. So once after highlighting the template, then you can click on create from template. And this information basically depends upon the quick entries what you have selected. I mean, these are all the by default options, but apart from this, even if you want to add classifications or project organization, right? So it depends upon the quick entries what you have selected within your project template. So here, um, annual 01, I'll give the project number also same to the project name. My start date is January 1st, 2021, and my end date is okay, this 22. And coming down, you can see some options, copy options. So whether you want to copy these options from your project template or not. For example, I don't want to copy the tasks from the project template. So in that case, I can I can disable this project task checkbox, right? Then no tasks will get copied into my project from the project template. If you want to copy, then yes, you can enable this, but if you don't want, then you can disable this, right? And again, if you don't want to copy any project team members which are available in the project template, then you can disable these options, right? So based upon your requirement, whether you can enable the options or disable the options, accordingly the default options will get copied into the project from your project template. And again, the same applies to the assets and transaction controls and overrides as well. As we didn't mention anything under assets, transaction control, so even if you leave them as is, it won't harm anything. So I'm just click on save and continue. What happened? A new project, the project will be created because of the application error. Let's try to create one more time. Continue. Oh, let me create one more time. Oh. Let's see whether the project is getting created or not. No. Maybe the issues with those options. I'll deselect them. I don't want any task assignments. I don't want descriptive flex fields. I don't want any of these options except the task details. And I don't want any attachments and descriptive flex fields. Let's click on save and continue and see. It seems we are having some issues with the application. Okay, no problem. We'll go with the existing project. I think we are already having projects with that project type. So let's search for that. My project type, I'm not able to see here. Okay, let's search again. Okay, maybe I have enabled reference data sets, like apart from using common, I might be using different sets. Let's go with the project type bank. I think even this is also for capital projects. Let's search. Let's get into the project and we'll see whether this project is meant for capital projects or not. Okay, so bank capital project. And also let's review the task details once. Okay, I'm going to check the task details. Under setup, I can see, yeah. If it is for capital projects, then I can see capitalizable. If the project is contract project, then I cannot see this, and instead of this, I can see billable option here. So as this meant for, as this is a capital project, I can see the capitalizable checkbox under the task, so which is good. So we are having the project, which is good. So once you are having like project, like so far we have created project type, project template, and the project, right? Once after this, we can create asset. So creation of asset, again, you can do in two areas. One is within the project, or you can go to the asset work area and you can create the asset there. So I'll just briefly show you within the project how we can able to create the project asset. So again, you have to go to the task list and go to the manage financial project settings. So this contains more information actually. So you can see the multiple tabs here, parties, which contains all your team members, customers, suppliers, right? And under planning, you can see the RBS details and whatever the project plan that we have selected. This is your RBS resource breakdown structure. Under financial, you can see the cross charge, transaction controls, right? And again, under capital, you can see the asset related information. And as we are not using capitalized interest, I'm disabling that. And here we have already one asset. Maybe let me try to delete this. Okay, already asset lines are there. No problem. So you can come to the capital tab within the project and you can create a capital asset, or you can create an asset from within the projects, right? And we are having one more option to create the asset. So let's go out of this project, and from the home page, go to the projects, and again you need to click on the assets. So when will you get access to this work area? When you have project accountant uh, role assigned to your user, then you can able to access this assets work area, right? So let's go into this work area and go to the task list and click on manage capital projects. From here you can use your search options to search the respective project. If your project is already there, then you can simply highlight that and then go to the actions and click on manage capital assets. So already we are having an asset here, but we'll try to create a new asset. Okay, so click on the plus icon and give your asset name. Maybe I can give like asset, and most of the options are very much similar like to the e-business suite, right? So here also we have to select the asset type, whether it is an estimated or as built. So initially we'll go with the estimated type, and estimated in service date, it's again optional. If you want, you can give. If not, you can leave that blank. And the description, maybe I'll go with some description here. And I think all these options are very much familiar to you, right? Asset book, asset category, asset key, right? This asset book will get copied from where, guys?
From
I didn't give this asset book
from
here, right?
con- configure project accounting business functions. From there it will come default
Yeah,
asset book.
correct. Right, within the configure project accounting business functions, so we are having an option default asset book, right? So whatever the asset book you specify there, that will get defaulted while defining the capital asset. And again, asset categories based upon again your project type setup. I mean, the options what you have selected within the project type. Then based upon that, whether the asset category is mandatory or optional, right? So if you enable require complete asset definition, then yes, you have to provide your asset category, asset key, right? All this information will be mandatory. If not, once we transfer the asset lines to fixed assets, then there the fixed asset consultant or the user, they can provide the remaining information and they can post it to create the asset. And
We
then
have class at 10:30 again.
what, Naresh?
At 10:30 we have Anjana class. We have to close this session.
Okay, so in that case, we'll stop here. We'll try to create the asset maybe tomorrow. Okay, guys, who is
Okay,
going to
Anna.
give presentation tomorrow?
I'll give one tomorrow.
Ganesh, right?
I would like to give to on a contract project.
Contract project life cycle.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I need one more volunteer. Mahesh.
Anna.
Do you want to give presentation?
No, okay.
You can talk about the rate schedules in Fusion. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Okay, guys. We'll meet tomorrow then.
Okay, bye, Anna.
Bye.
Bye, sir.